Let's shock them and be
Let's
on
shock
time.
everyone.
Good evening and welcome to another Fortean Words.
Good evening.
We have Ian back, we have Fraser back, and we have Hobbit on mute. So at least he's not dropping any gamer words.
Good evening, everybody.
Yes, here we are.
Yeah. So we've got Emily in the chat. Let's have a look. 3 watching, so it's pretty good. That's more than usual. So
That's probably us 3 watching it. Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
YouTube have absolutely strangled
Exactly.
the channel to death.
yeah.
And we're early as well, so obviously.
Yeah,
people,
that's shocked.
you know,
Yeah, everyone's going to get
Yeah.
here about 10 past and find out we've already started.
And missed half the content.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite literally. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So pretty good. Yeah, it's good to see the new music as well. So spooky music makes you feel your unders listening to that, eh?
Yeah.
Wait, you played the new theme tune?
No, I played the
Yeah,
old
the
one.
new theme tune, and I almost soiled myself, so that's pretty good.
Played
Right,
old
the
one.
theme
yeah,
tune,
having
sing
that
the theme
effect.
tune.
Yeah. Here he is. Hobbit's here. The whole gang's here. What do you want to start with then? Are we going to start with the Feejeean Mermaid?
Yeah, we'll kick off with that, and then we'll get stuck into some of those other stuff.
So,
Basically,
first thing
anyone
before we
to-
start, your particular spelling of Feejee. You're saying
Feejee.
that's...
Well, it's not actually my spelling; it's just how it's spelled for some reason
I have you know.
when referring
Feejee
to this
has an I
particular
in it.
mermaid.
Oh.
Yeah, Fiji is Fiji, isn't it? But obviously,
Feejee.
for some reason they spell it like this. I don't know. I think
It's not
there
the
are
new
some
theme
spellings
tune.
of it.
I got all excited then, but it's like, no, that's the same theme tune we've used for years now.
Bit of an update on last week's show.
Yeah.
Did you see how Corn Pop went over to Maui?
Didn't he say something about like, oh, you know,
He said,
I can sympathise
he said-
with you because my feet got hot once on a beach.
No, he said I can sympathise with you because my kitchen caught fire once and I nearly lost my car, wife, and cat.
Oh my God.
He's a fucking joke, isn't he? It's just awful.
It's theatre at this point. It is a mocking ritual or
Did you
something.
did you
isn't
see
it?
him nod? Did you see him nodding off during the?
Yeah, I saw that
memorial
as well. Yeah. Just fucking asleep. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
It
Good
takes
old
all
Joe.
sorts, though, eh?
Oh.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know what he could have done? He could have lived in a blue house with a blue car and a blue umbrella. That would have, and a blue cat, obviously, and then it wouldn't have set fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw
and
that.
and
Yeah.
pleasured himself. And pleasured himself whilst watching a blue movie.
Yeah,
Was
did
there
you
any
not see
little
this one? Did you not see this one, Ian? The Fijian fire. Apparently, it couldn't catch anything blue. It just had a bit of a weakness for. It was a bit like the Green Lantern, but with blue instead of yellow.
Mm. Yeah.
No, there was even someone posted a video today in the 14 Telegram.
Yeah.
Like shirts, like blue shirts, were in the rubble, like in the.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like it was just
And
like,
burn.
okay, there's something to this, then, isn't there? So.
Because you've got the blue boy as well, haven't you? Which
Yeah.
doesn't burn.
Oh, and the Crying Boys that we did the other week.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we covered on 2 occasions.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Nice. But anyway, okay. So let's get on with this
Let's do this.
Fortean subject. So then, all right then. So it's not such a long piece as my Titanic road trip last month, but I'm sure you'll get something out of it anyway. So, but all right then. But firstly, though, it's the start of the football season. The Premiership started last week, which is good, and we no longer have to pretend that we like women's football. So that's a good thing. But it's though.
I just want to put my head in my hands. Everyone says when people just say to me, "It's just as good as the men's game." It's just like, no, it's not. No.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I find
If you don't say that, then
transphobic. I think
the
it's
women have a separate league.
I think it's a CIA psyop. I think it's part of Project Mockingbird that people that they're trying to make you think that women's football is better than men's.
Can't wait for the
if
female
you say
Premier
anything
League.
else, you have to go to HR. So
yeah.
But no,
is there a women's football league? Like the Premier League is a
there's been one for years. It's the joke always used to be about the Arsenal ladies, didn't it, Ian?
Yeah,
they didn't. They didn't. I think they were trans before it was fashionable. From what I've heard about the Arsenal ladies,
big girls, are they? Big hands. Yeah.
But I'm not sure. Are there any blokes in the women's game yet?
Of course not. Of course not, Ian. You bit fascist bigot.
No, there isn't swimming there, isn't there? There's that guy who's got a dick and he swims in the women's and wins all the races. When's that going to happen in football?
Clever
I don't know if it's happened yet.
Is he a clever dick?
I'll be honest, I didn't watch it. Anyway, let's have a look. Oh, okay then. But anyway, aside from the Premiership, there's many levels of football in England and Scotland, and interestingly, in the North Caledonian League in Scotland, there's actually Loch Ness FC, and as we can see there, prematurely, we can see there.
Even enough people in Loch Ness.
Look at
have a football team.
It's sort of they play near Inverness, and I think but they've got the best shirt, and we can see it there. It's pretty good, eh? So Loch Ness Monster themed shirts and
Monster Box. What is Monster?
You can buy them online.
Is that like a food thing or something? It's got to be, right?
Yeah.
Monster.
My ex-girlfriend had a Monster Box, to be honest, plenty of them. Didn't even touch the sides when going in that one. It's quite a beast. But anyway, so it's a bestseller worldwide. I'd be tempted to buy one myself, but I'm a bit too fat, so
no, that's not the right logo. There is a thing called Monster Box, which is an IPTV box.
Yeah. Do you know who their star player is?
Don't know.
Lionel Messi.
That is bad.
It's good, eh?
That's
all. I
just died of cringe.
That
was just building up. I thought of the joke first, and I thought, well, I work backwards on this, so I want to throw that in.
There's loads of things called Monster Box, but none of them have the right logo, so I don't know. I would say
it's probably some like chippy in the town or something, right? Maybe. I don't know.
They do the Monster Box, which is the
big,
exactly.
The big dinner.
Exactly. The bargain bucket.
The bargain bucket.
Eat out of a bucket. Yeah, put your head in the bucket and eat out of the bucket. Anyway. All right, so that's just that. So. But
so real good advertising.
So without further ado.
Real good advertising that football shirt, because you literally can't find what it's all about.
Yeah, I want to buy. It makes me want to
buy.
So
on a TV box, is that what I want?
But it's not the right logo. None of it's I can't see that logo anywhere. Fail. It's a complete fail on behalf of Monster Box. Sorry, mate.
Arseholes. Anyway, okay. Let's move on to the main subject. So let's get on and let's discuss the fishy tale of the Feejee Mermaid. Okay. So what we'll do then, what we'll do for everyone, and the people in the chat can join in, let's start with a question.
Yeah.
So, there's many cryptozoological creatures. What is it, the one thing that they all have in common? Anyone?
They're absolutely real.
It's a good
Yeah.
answer, but it's not the right
They
answer.
all
That's
have
a good
tails.
answer, not the right answer. Yeah. Okay then. Okay then. What we've got then? We've got unreliable eyewitnesses. We've got blurry photos of logs
Love those.
floating in lakes.
We got
Yeah.
Steve Felton.
Who doesn't like me. You know, whenever
They're
I
all
go on a
blurry.
40
Interdimensional says they're all blurry.
um,
They're hard
whenever I
to
go on a
photograph,
40
says Ash.
You've
Never
got
leave
shaky
any
film
physical
footage.
evidence. And they're picking up speed now.
Yeah, you're basically there. You're all there.
Yeah.
You'll all get a prize then in that.
Yeah, 14
Everyone's a
14
winner.
words T-shirt when we start
Exactly.
doing them.
Yeah.
We've got shaky film footage of a man in a monkey suit walking through a forest. Yeah. But what we've never had is a living or dead specimen of any of these fabulous
Oh shit!
creatures.
No. There was that Yeti in the ice. Do you remember that one?
That was rubber, though. That was made of rubber. That surfaced years later.
Hey,
It sold
why
for
are you
20, that
judging
sold for 20.
animal diversity here? Maybe he's made of rubber.
There are all kinds of animals, Ian. Don't be so bigoted.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What have you
that
got
rubber,
against silicon
that rubber
life form?
identified as a Yeti.
Yeah.
I'll have you know.
Yeah, exactly.
sold for 20 grand, that did as well, when it turned
Did
up many years later. The Minnesota Iceman.
Didn't it thaw out?
It's a
Didn't
good-
it thaw out? That's when they found out it was rubber, didn't it, or something?
Well, yeah, they think. Well, it just sort of turned up years later. They were saying, the scientists were saying they could smell decomposing flesh through the ice and shit like that. But you know, just wishful thinking. So, but yeah, all right then. So we've never had a living or dead specimen, or have we?
Oh,
Okay.
or have we?
Isn't it? Hey. So let's pick up this story then.
Let's
So,
find out.
in the 1800s, a specimen of a dead half-man, half-fish type creature turned up, and it was referred to as the Feejee Mermaid. The Feejee Mermaid was supposedly caught off the coast of the Fiji Islands in the South Pacific, and was acquired by a Dutch
That's a coincidence,
merchant.
isn't it? Because it's called the
Yeah,
Fiji Mermaid.
Yeah, it was acquired by Dutch merchant sailors from a Japanese man in 1822.
Was it that bloke
The
from
Dutch
Gremlins that sold?
yeah, could have, so it's
Don't feed it after
similar
midnight.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, don't throw water at it or it'll die. No, that's the alien in Signs, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy
If
water.
you throw water at a gremlin, it turns into. That's
No,
right.
it has
If you throw
babbies.
water at a gremlin, it turns into a bad gremlin, isn't it?
No, it
That's
has
right.
babbies.
Getting mixed up with my water.
It has babies.
It's if you feed him. If you feed it after midnight, it
Is
turns
it?
into a bad one.
If you feed Dracula holy water, he dies, or something like that. You're not sure. Anyway, okay, let's see. Anyway, the Dutch merchant ship sank, but an American captain named Samuel Barrett.
Oh, I've got one more. If you
rescue-
put seawater on those aliens from Alien Nation, they dissolve, don't they? Do you remember that? You ever seen Alien
Signs?
Nation?
Oh, I've seen Signs though.
Oh,
Oh,
Alien
no.
Nation's a great film. It had James. No, it weren't James.
No,
Was it
that's
James
not
Caan?
what
I think it was
Gordon.
James Caan in it.
Are you
And-
talking about the one where they die if they touch water and they land on a planet with all this water? Is
No. There's a film called Alien Nation, and they land. Yeah, it's James Caan. It's a refugee analog thing. So they crash into Earth, and they get brought into our society. And the two things are, one, they dissolve in seawater, and they get drunk on rotten milk.
The aliens in War of the Worlds died of the common cold, I believe, wasn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that, yeah. Anyway, okay. So anyway, back to this though. Okay, so the Dutch merchant ship sank, but an American named Samuel Barrett Edis rescued the crew and the mermaid. Yes, was so fascinated by the mermaid that he brought it from the Dutch sailors in January 1822, and he had to sell his own ship to pay the $6,000 price for the mermaid. So yeah, he just needed travel money, so he exhibited the mermaid in Cape Town, and there it was met with fanfare. So very popular. A prominent English missionary wrote
that kind of
a
fanfare.
much circulated newspaper article that attested that the mermaid was real and confirms its validity. So yeah. Unlike images of mermaids in folklore and popular culture, the Feejee mermaid was described as follows. Dear stuffed specimen, dried or mummified. Its skin was black and semi-translucent. It was around 3 feet long and was posed in an awkward stance. Its mouth was open, its tail was turned over, and its arms thrown in the air, giving it the appearance of having died in great agony. So, excuse me, if we can go to the next picture there, Hemi, we can actually see an illustration of the Feejee mermaid.
Is it a male or a female?
And there we go there.
Saggy tits.
Exactly. Some low-slung breasts on it, so we'll see that.
There's some proper National Geographic boobs, they are, aren't they?
But
why is it hairy
exactly.
as well? Like, why would you have hair for a
It's
fish?
from up north, Fraser.
Oh, it's up north. It's,
yeah.
Yes, that's right. All cod and haddock, they're hairy as well, right? That's how it works.
Some women these days do have beards, so it's not a very pleasant sight, though. But there we go. But definitely a half man, half fish type creature. Is what we got there. So mystery thickens. Most mermaids are fit and worth giving one, but I don't think I'd be up for that, though. To be honest,
Daryl Hannah in
traditional
Splash
would use exactly. Yeah, I do that. So. Traditionally, mermaids would use their beauty to lure sailors to a watery grave. But
was it mermaid? No, that's wrong. That's sirens, isn't it? Not
it
mermaids.
Not? Sirens, is it not the same thing?
Sirens.
Same sort of
no,
thing.
mermaids just sit there brushing their hair.
It's the sirens that sing, isn't it? The siren song.
Yeah.
I don't think mermaids sing. No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm not really up on mermaid lore.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the sailors would be thinking, "Oh, I'm going to get my end away here," and then go in the water and drown in it. So is that what the sirens were doing? I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway.
The sirens got.
I think in this case,
the sirens got the captains to smash their ships on the rocks.
Into rocks.
The sirens are from Greek myth, aren't they?
Must have.
Yeah.
Must have had a word with Captain Smith.
Mermaids are Norwegian and Swedish, aren't they? Denmark.
Swedish. Oh yeah, it's all right, isn't it? Well,
the
if they
Kelpie
smash
myth is quite similar to that.
No, Kelpie's different. The Kelpie's a horse. It looks like a horse. You go on its back and it sticks.
Scottish horse. Often forerunners for the.
Okay, then maybe Ian's right. It says mermaids are sometimes associated with perilous events such as floods, storms, shipwrecks, and drownings. In other folk traditions, or sometimes within the same traditions, they can be benevolent, beneficent, bestowing boons, or falling in love with humans.
Kelpies often seduce and lure people into a watery demise.
Yeah, but it looks like the version I heard of the Kelpie was that it looked like a horse, and you'd get on its back, and then you'd get stuck to it, and then it'd drag you under and drown you.
And then they lay on their back, they open their crack, and piss all over the ceiling. So, let's see.
Saturday night.
I don't think, though, in this case, if you look at that mermaid, though, I think I would prefer that to be reversed and have the upper half of a fish and the lower half of a woman type creature, the other way around.
Yeah, because you can't stick your pee-pee in that, can you?
Yeah, you can access the cunt that way. If it's that way around.
I don't think he even has one.
And well, the lower half of a woman has.
Hold on. I think this dude here. Hold on, I've got an image to put up. Hold on a sec. Hold on, I've got an image, but I think this guy has cracked the code.
Okay.
Right. Have a
Bit
look
of a
now.
teaser.
I think this dude sussed it. I think he sussed it. How to do a proper
He solved
mermaid.
the problem.
He sussed it.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Her
yeah.
tail's lower down though.
Yeah.
That's not a proper mermaid, though, is it? She's you can even do her up the arse in that one as well, can't you? Get a bit of dirt box action if you're into that.
Yeah.
So if you're straight, I don't know why you would want to do that, but some guys do.
Mm. But yeah, that guy sussed it. He sussed the mermaid head at the top or fish at the bottom.
I would have been up for that one, but not this one.
Yeah.
So let's have a look then. Right, so basically there's nowhere to empty your sack with a traditional mermaid anyway. But you can do other stuff. You can do other stuff which results in making a bit of a mess.
How about this one? Oh, the Old English merewif is another related term and appears once in reference not so much to a mermaid but a certain sea hag. So there you go. You need your beer goggles on for that one then. Yeah, the old sea hag. You wouldn't mind getting into that one, would you?
Wake up, get pissed, and wake up the next morning and think, "Oh no, I didn't, did I? Oh no, I can't." You have to save face. But anyway, you can do other stuff, like making them. If you shoot your load everywhere, then it's tough shit in it. Tit wanks, oral. You'd have to swallow. They don't all like doing that, do they? Don't or not?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really got blowjobs off many mermaids.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to the story. In September 1822, Edis arrived in London with the mermaid, and he set up a display at a coffee house with the mermaid under a thick glass dome. It was recalled the remarkable stuffed mermaid, and it was an overnight success, becoming the talk of the town. Every day, hundreds of people would pay 1 shilling to see the mermaid, and if we go to the next, just show the next picture there, Hemi, and we can see the image of a mermaid under its glass dome. There it is there. So that there.
It's not happy, is it?
Jeez.
It's dead, isn't it? So it's a dried up, shriveled up specimen.
I've got a story here, Ian.
That would set you back a shilling.
A mermaid-like goddess identified by Greek and Roman writers as Derceto or Atargatis was worshipped at Ashkelon. In a myth recounted by Diodorus in the 1st century BCE, that's before Christ's era, Derceto gave birth to a child from an affair. Ashamed, she abandoned the child in the desert and drowned herself in a lake, only to be transformed into a human-headed fish.
Yeah.
There you go.
Aphrodite washed up on the shores of Cyprus on a spume of foam.
Yeah.
Which was likened to be, I think, Zeus's essence.
Oh.
I'm trying to use the polite term here.
Issue. I think you can use the word issue, Hobbit. I think that used to be the post term.
His eminence.
Is issue.
Yes.
Charge.
She issued forth from the sea and washed up on the shores of Cyprus. That's why it's known as Aphrodite's Island.
Mm.
Yeah, okay. All right, fair enough. But, okay, then, so the mermaid in the coffee house was called the remarkable stuffed mermaid. So looking at that there, that would set you back a shilling to have a look at that, which was a lot of money in those days. So back to the tale. Edis, who seems to have believed that the mermaid was real, invited 2 prominent naturalists to examine it. They proclaimed it was
but
a
he got the invitation wrong and invited 2 naturists instead. And that,
they started playing volleyball with their dicks out. So flopping everywhere. It's like, oh, Christ's sake. Anyway. But Edis consulted other less knowledgeable naturalists who said that it was legitimate. This pleased Edis, who, in an act of great hubris, eventually claimed that one of the prominent naturalists, Sir Everard Home, had also stated that the mermaid was genuine. Home was furious, and he got several respected publications to announce that the mermaid was a fraud. This was the beginning of the end for Edith's success with the Mermaid. The rush of articles denouncing the Mermaid also implied that the public was gullible. Attendance at the Mermaid exhibit fell off, and in January 1823, the coffee house closed.
It's all a bit unnecessary.
For the next
isn't
few years, so that.
So wait, it was just media. There was no test done to validify.
There wasn't. No, there were some naturalists who said
Cover
that
up.
the Mermaid was not real. Were well qualified, some not so well qualified ones who said it was real. And the media were reporting,
the media
whatever.
like,
They were just going with the flow, basically.
Yeah.
We've seen
whatever.
many examples of what the media are like in
Exactly, yeah.
Unexplained Mysteries.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Anyway, over the next few years, the Mermaid toured England, but was not overtly popular as news of its fakery had circulated the country.
Wait,
The
sorry,
Mermaid
when was this? What year?
This was 1823. Okay?
Wow, before evolution as well. Interesting.
Exactly, before evolution, before the internet. So
That is
The-
interesting.
the town crier was the internet in those days, wasn't it? The guy with the
Yeah.
bell. That guy with the bell. Oh yay, oh yay. And then telling you what's on Pornhub.
Yeah.
So, let's have a look then. Okay then, so anyway. Mermaid was then packed away in storage and wasn't touched for nearly 20 years until Edith passed away, and the Mermaid was inherited by his son, who promptly sold it to Moses Kimball of the Boston Museum in 1842. Yeah, so Kimball travelled from Boston to New York to show his new purchase to his friend P.T. Barnum, who had recently
P.T.
purchased
Barnum.
a museum there. Exactly, yeah.
Legit
Barnum
fella.
was known as America's greatest showman and promoted his museum by labelling it the greatest show on earth to exhibit its plethora of curiosities. And we can see, actually, if we have a look at the next picture there, Hemi, let's look at one of Barnum's promotional posters. There we go. So that's
that's how he spells Feejee. It's P.T.
Exactly.
Barnum's fault, isn't it?
It's Americans.
P.T. Barnum's
Goddamn
museum, greatest
Ruining
show
our
on
language
earth.
again.
Yeah, exactly. But
I'll spell Feejee however I like.
General Tom Thumb. Exactly.
Jenny
Okay.
Lind, the
Kimball's
Swedish
suggested-
Nightingale.
Just as a nod to what Madfaz shows, this is what happens to the American education system when you have fires. You get rid of your Tartarian buildings, and now you have people saying, like, well, Fiji is spelt that way, isn't it?
Could be. Well, it's phonetical, isn't it? So, anyway. Kimball suggested that they work together on exhibiting the Mermaid, although Barnum wasn't fully convinced of its authenticity. He did believe it could draw the public to his museum, and he agreed to lease it off Kimball for $12.50 each week. The Feejee Mermaid was instrumental in Barnum's success. Not only was it hugely popular, but it did set the foundation for many of his later tactics in generating interest in his curiosities.
Are you suggesting the
Barnum
Feejee Mermaid isn't
concocted
real, Ian?
Well, we can come on to that. It could be real, but it could be not. Barnum concocted quite an elaborate scheme to get people to part with their money. The plan was to generate just a small amount of interest from the press at first, and he did this by sending letters to newspapers from various fake people in Alabama and South Carolina who had met a Dr. Griffin from London and had seen his amazing collection of creatures, including the Mermaid. So there. The next step of his plan was for the fictional Dr. Griffin.
Did you not notice that
he's full of
surname, the
shit.
Griffin? Obviously, the Griffin being part lion, part eagle, part snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Dr.
No, that's a
Grifter,
manticore.
more like.
That's no Griffin's a lion and an eagle.
Lion and eagle. Is it just lion and
Yeah,
eagle? Is it?
yeah, that's it. Yeah. Manticores are goats, lions, and snakes.
Yeah. So anyway, Dr. Griffin was to arrive in Philadelphia, and playing the role of Dr. Griffin was Levi Lyman, who was one of Barnum's associates and had worked with Barnum on a hoax before.
I can't believe what they're suggesting.
Well, it's not been, Dr. Griffin proved pivotal in the Mermaid's success. At the time, new animals from around the world were still being discovered, and Dr. Griffin showed the public other unusual animals, like the duck-billed platypus, which seemed to offer proof that he was a real naturalist.
Did he show him his elephant?
He did, his elephant. He turned his trouser pockets inside out and showed them the elephant. So, but anyway, he showed them the duck-billed platypus, which seemed to offer proof that he was a naturalist and the mermaid was real.
To be fair, that is a bullshit animal, isn't it?
Well, it is, but it's real, isn't it?
It's got venomous claws, apparently, haven't they?
I don't know, but the giraffe is pretty fucked up, isn't it? And the elephant. So, Levi Lyman, still disguised as Dr. Griffin, then travelled to New York and showcased the Feejee Mermaid to a small audience. Press were under the impression that multiple people had vouched for Dr. Griffin, and they had seen his duck-billed platypus in person already. And his
they're real
as well.
What? The press didn't do their research? I can't believe you'd suggest such a thing, Ian.
They fell for a sensational story. It never crossed their minds that the Feejee Mermaid would not be the real deal. Dr. Griffin arranged for a week-long exhibition in New York Concert Hall, and the crowds flooded to see the mermaid. The fake naturalist gave lectures stating that all land-dwelling animals have their counterparts in the ocean. For example, seahorses, sea lions, etc.
Yeah.
So it made
Fish
sense.
Birds.
It made sense that sea humans would also exist. So I think at that point you would think, well, hang on, this naturalist is probably not really doesn't really know what he's talking about. But
this fella might be a naturist, and he's going to show us his elephant any second.
Yeah, he's going to really stick that in our faces. So anyway, the idea of first showing the Feejee Mermaid at a venue other than Barnum's American Museum was a brilliant strategy. Barnum knew his reputation was tarnished or suspect, and that people had not forgotten the Joyce Heth hoax from a few years before.
Not Joyce
Barnum,
Heth.
Yeah. Barnum claimed a woman called Joyce Heth was 161 years old, and in fact, she was actually in her 70s.
He was only a little bit out.
So basically, what we can take from that is that Barnum was a no-good son of a bitch con man. So, yeah.
And you immediately jumped to that conclusion, do you?
Well, yeah. After a week in the New York Concert Hall, Dr. Griffin generously agreed to let Barnum show the mermaid at his American Museum.
That's nice of him.
Well, they were mates, weren't they?
It was
a con, wasn't it? It was a con.
Yeah, of course it was.
It's a bit like in Only Fools and Horses when Dell was selling some miracle potion, and Uncle Albert would walk by with his barred back and he bought some, and then all of a sudden he started around.
Or lock, stock,
anyway.
and two smoking barrels when his mate starts to stampede when he's selling shit out of a suitcase.
Yeah, and then they say, "You muppet, you slag."
Yeah, you muppet, you slag.
Okay then. Attendance at the museum tripled. Barnum also printed 10,000 pamphlets which depicted beautiful mermaids modelled on voluptuous women, completely different to the Feejee mermaid in actual appearance. But given its success, the public didn't seem to mind.
You're not going to be knocking one out to the Feejee mermaid, are you?
Exactly. But if you do want to knock one out, if you want to knock one out, put on the next picture there, Hemi, and we can all have a look at that.
Yeah.
Give it a good. Here you go. Bad is it? Hello, ladies. Hey. So.
Hey.
They're nice, aren't they? They're fit, those ones. So there you go. So it's quite misleading. But that was Barnum for you. And as you can see, the mermaids there are quite hot. I'm sure we'd be up for that. So anyway,
to be fair, you still ain't getting no poon, are you?
well, you could do other stuff though. Slap them in the face with your semi and that kind of thing. So, in 1859, Barnum took the Mermaid on tour to London, where again it would prove to a popular attraction. When he returned to the United States, the Feejee Mermaid was displayed at Kimball's Museum in Boston, and it spent the rest of its days alternating between there and Barnum's American Museum. The fate of the Feejee Mermaid is unknown, but it seems likely that it was destroyed in a fire. Kimball's Museum burnt down in 1865, and Barnum's Museum burnt down in 1868. So, there we go.
Spooky.
Mm.
In 1897, 2 years after Kimball's death, the Mermaid exhibit was donated to Harvard University's Peabody Museum by Kimball's heirs. It's still on display today, but it is unknown if this is the original Feejee Mermaid. We can have a look. If we put the next picture up there, Hemi, we can have
Finally,
a
we
quick look.
get to see fucking what it looks like.
This is
I've
one
seen
of
it
It's in a completely different position.
There you go. There, see. So that's what was donated. There. So there. That's it. No, that's going to take it up the arse. That one, isn't it? That's not. That's that position. The Mermaid at the Peabody.
How's it got a mummified moustache on it? Like, what is going on with that face?
Well, it's pretty good. Isn't it? It's got a good moustache. The Mermaid at the Peabody Museum looks significantly different from the original Feejee Mermaid, which is depicted as mounted vertically with a large head. The Peabody Mermaid, as we can see, is horizontal, like a fish, with a small head. The arms of the Feejee Mermaid are raised to the head, whereas the Peabody Mermaid's arms are lower in front of the body.
Yeah, doesn't look.
The Peabody is also. There is also no solid documentation that this mermaid is the one that Barnum rented from Moses.
Does the Peabody have a body made of pearl?
Well, they could do. We can see they're in assess for ourselves.
Yeah.
Kimball did exhibit mermaids at later times, so it could be that the mermaid is a later one. It could certainly be argued that it is in rather good condition, which indicates that it is a later version and not as well travelled as the original Feejee mermaid. So yeah. In the modern Barnum Museum, which is located in Bridgeport, Connecticut, displays a replica of the Feejee mermaid based on the original descriptions, which was made for a TV documentary. We can actually see this. Go to the next picture there. We can see this. The next image is actually...
That's a real difficult wank, that one, isn't it?
What is that?
There you go. That's actually not the real. That's not a real one. That was made for a documentary. That was mocked up. Okay. So don't get too scared. Or the people in the chat don't
remember. Don't have nightmares.
Get too frightened by that. It's not. That's not the real one.
That's just a monkey.
Okay.
Well, this is what everyone's always thought it was, and it's a monkey stitched to it.
Okay. And it's interesting you've said that. So as we sort of come to a conclusion, what exactly was the Feejee mermaid?
Was it a monkey stitched to a fish, Bob?
Well, basically, yes. We'll go through this now. The origin of the mermaid is not known for certain, but it was likely created in the early 1800s by a Japanese fisherman as a joke.
What?
The mermaid itself was probably
constructed
from the upper body. Yeah, he did. The right good laugh for everyone.
Yeah.
And he got $6,000 off that sailor.
Colourable white man.
Anyway.
Yeah. I say you fish man.
Yeah. Is it Hobbit back in the room? Like his. Anyway, the mermaid itself was probably constructed from the upper body of an orangutan and the tail half of a salmon stitched together. It would then have been stuffed and dried. Figures were also used in religious practices in Japanese and East Indian villages, and this may also explain the mermaid's origin. to Dutch merchants, as the Dutch were the only Westerners allowed to trade with Japan at the time. In 1853, Commodore Matthew Perry opened trade between Japan and the rest of the Western world, and then many more fake mermaids appeared on the scene.
Real
a CT scan of the mermaid on display at the Peabody. Yeah. Well, a CT scan of the mermaid on display at the Peabody Museum revealed that it was made up of a wire frame, paper mache, bone fragments, fish scales, and another disappointment. So there we go. There we have a fishy tale of the Feejee mermaid, the story of how a fake monster crept its way into some of the most popular museums in the world. There we go.
World.
But that doesn't mean mermaids are fake, though, right?
No, they could be real, couldn't they? And
Just
people
means
do
that
still see
mermaid's
mermaid. But this mermaid's fake, and this is probably the most well-known mermaid and the nearest we've come to a real mermaid. So that's good, eh?
Well, no, I mean, there are those videos on YouTube of mermaids. Have you not seen those? The Arabic ones. Have you seen
did watch
Arabic
one today,
ones
which was clearly CGI. So
is that the Arabic one with the snake lady? Have you seen that one?
I'm not sure. I think this one was in. I can't remember. There was people on a boat trip. I think it was in Greece actually. People on a boat trip and they're filming. There's a mermaid sat on a rock. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. And then we went on to Pornhub. I saw a mermaid sat on a cock.
Are they doing the Little Mermaid, are they?
Really?
Yeah. There's always a porn version of every popular film.
So Ian, did you want to go? Did you want to go? Or are you finished?
I finished. Yeah, that's it. That's the.
I was going to say, did you want to go from mermaids to lobsters?
You can do that. Yeah, go for it.
Born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 1937, Grady Stiles Jr., also known as the Lobster Boy, led an interesting life and suffered a death that was just as intriguing. Grady was born with a rare medical condition known as to run in his family called ectrodactyly, more commonly known as lobster claw syndrome. Ectrodactyly is a condition in which the middle fingers are missing and the fingers on either side where they should be are fused together. The result is the hands look like lobster claws. The feet are sometimes affected, as was the case with Grady. Grady's father also suffered from the condition and toured the country in sideshows as the Lobster Man. He wasted no time in introducing Grady to the show life, billing him as the Lobster Boy and starting him in the freak show business at the tender age of 7. Grady Stiles was an instant hit on the carnival scene and grew up to be quite strong. Though he could not walk, he pushed himself around in a wheelchair and learned to crawl on his limbs, which led to him developing incredible upper body strength. While working the carnival circuit, Lobster Boy met a young woman named Mary Teresa. Though she did not suffer from any mutation, she ran away to join the carnival at 19 and fell in love with Grady. The two married and had several children together, 2 of which inherited Grady's ectrodactyly. For a while they toured as the Lobster Family, but life turned ugly when Grady began drinking. Reputed to be a mean drunk, Lobster Boy reportedly beat his wife and children for years until one night in 1973. On that night, Grady fought with Mary, threw her to the ground, and ripped her IUD out of her body with his bare hands. What the fuck?
Really? Is that possible with his...
Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ.
What the...
Jesus, he was a bad
lad. Messed up shit going on.
I mean, could you imagine being fucking slammed by those fucking hamshanks? Jesus. Jesus. Pulling out an IUD? Grim. She probably divorced him. Grady Stiles eventually remarried, though, to his second wife. Though his second wife, too, divorced him. I wonder why. Though still a mean drunk, Grady Stiles lived a relatively quiet life until 1978. At that point, he thrust himself into the spotlight again, when his eldest daughter fell in love with a man Grady did not approve of. He killed a would-be groom with a shotgun on the day before the wedding. There was no doubt about Grady's guilt as he freely confessed to the crime, but he never served time for crime. Though he was found guilty in 1979, Grady's life of alcoholism and cigarette smoking had taken a toll. He had cirrhosis of the liver and emphysema in addition to his aerodactyly. Therefore, it was determined he would not receive adequate medical care in prison. Although he was convicted of murder, Grady was sentenced to only 15 years probation. Escaping prison made Lobster Boy cocky. He reportedly told others he could kill them and get away with it since he already had. The verdict had a large impact on Grady's first wife, Mary, who inexplicably remarried him in 1989. His ill-tempered drinking, coupled with his feeling of invincibility from getting away with murder, made Grady even more abusive than he was before. In 1992...
How could he hold a cigarette with that?
with the junk. Actually, I'll get a picture of him up.
Picture of him smoking as well, because I'm not sure how it can be achieved.
Right. So
you'd have to be pretty accurate. Was his favourite song Rock Lobster?
Did he like eating lobster, or did it feel like cannibalism for him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Lobster Boy.
So there he is, Lobster Boy. What do you think of them hands then, Fraser?
Yikes.
He's grim. So, in 1992, Mary decided she'd had enough of Grady's abuse. She paid her friend and neighbour, Chris Wyant, $1,500 to kill her husband. Wyant committed the murder, shooting Grady in the head while he watched television in his Florida home. Like Grady Stiles, Wyant went to court for the murder and was found guilty. Unlike Grady Stiles, Wyant was sentenced to 27 years in prison for the murder. Mary also stood trial and received a sentence of 12 years in prison. And the Lobster Boy? In death, his reviews have been mixed. Some in the carnival community confirm he was an ill-tempered man and goes far to compare him to Satan. Others revere him as a smart businessman who went from appearing in sideshows to owning them. These people contend that Mary should simply have walked away. Maybe the final verdict lies with his children. Several of them admit to shed into a tear for their father.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine getting fucking slammed with one of those? It'd have to be like, I don't think he's a puncher, I think he's a slapper. And I think that a slap from one of those, blimey, that would rock your world a bit, wouldn't it?
Well, you could poke both eyes out at once. But he's sort of permanently doing the heavy metal sign, isn't he?
Yeah. Probably doing the heavy metal sign. Right, did you had something you wanted to do, wasn't it, Ian?
I may have done. Let's see what we got. Maybe the Loch Ness expedition.
You are our Loch Ness expert.
Yeah, it is. I do like Loch Ness, even though we can put that one up there. Let's see. 1 second. So on this weekend, if we can put the link up, 1 moment. We have the link in the chat there. We can put that on for the people at home to see, and basically then, quest to find monster in biggest search of Loch Ness in over 50 years. So yeah, it's the first sweep of it. Yeah, exactly. It's the first sweep of its kind since the Loch Ness Investigation Bureau last studied the loch in 1972. So, and it's coming up this weekend. So, this month we'll see the biggest search for the elusive Loch Ness monster in decades. Newly revamped Loch Ness Centre, and it is.
Is it?
I went there last year.
Revamped? Have you been since it revamped? Then have you?
No, I haven't been since, but it is about fucking time, because when I went there last year, it was it was falling apart. So, but it's had a $1.5 million.
So which photo's that they've put on there then? Whose photo's that?
That's the surgeon's photo. That's the most famous photo, isn't it?
That's the surgeon.
I thought
the colour one was.
Oh yeah, that's probably the best. No, I think that's the most famous, because that came out in 1933, which when people were believing in that they could be something in it. Plus, also there's no, it's only a shadow. So turned out to be a toy submarine with a model on its back. But anyway, so Yeah, so it's good. The centre has been revamped, which is good. It looks good. I've not been there. Hope to go at some point. And the centre has partnered with Loch Ness Exploration. So that's Loch Ness Exploration. You can find that on Facebook and join that group if you're interested. An independent and voluntary research team to search for the famous waters and uncover its mysteries. It is the first sweep of its kind since the Loch Ness Investigation Bureau (LNIB) last studied the
Is that
loch
the big
in
one where they did the
1972.
sonar? They had the beacon underneath. I thought that was the army that did that one.
Which one?
The
Loch
one with
Ness
the
Investigation
the one with
Bureau.
the big sonar one. They did a massive sonar one, didn't they?
Oh no, that was Deep Scan
Oh,
in
was it?
1987, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one ran from 1962 to 1972, and you can see pictures and that. It is all hippie types. And Frank Searle, when it was independent.
But surely Deep Scan's the biggest one, isn't it? Because that was done properly by people.
It is
who had a bit of
the biggest one, but it
backing,
didn't really
yeah.
find anything. So but yeah, it was the biggest. It was the biggest sonar scan where basically they had all the loch covered. It was like they sent down a sonar curtain to cover all the loch, and if they came across a big contact under the water, then a special boat would then pursue that contact. They did make a couple of hits which were big, but nothing really out of the ordinary to get excited about. And it was 1987, which was what year is it now? 2023,
Yeah.
so it was like 36 years ago, and there's still no monster. So obviously, shit, I gotta be careful with that beer.
It's just good at hiding.
So
It's Scotland's
exactly.
hide and seek champion, isn't it?
It is, but the Loch Ness Investigation Bureau was hippie type people. Frank Searle described them as hippie type guys and girls getting shacked up in caravans and smoking pot. So that's what he said about those people. But anyway, okay then. The Loch Ness Centre is currently looking for budding monster hunters to get involved in the weekend taking place over the 26th and the 27th, which is this weekend. So if you want to put your name down, you can do it quickly.
You're
like
not
to
putting
go,
your name
to be
down
honest.
then, Ian?
Well, it's a long way to travel to start with, plus be weary of the weirdos that would turn up to this as well. I prefer my own independent expedition would be better. But yeah, it's a bit of a hike. So anyway, the Loch Ness Centre is located in the old Drumnadrochit Hotel, where 90 years ago, hotel manager Miss Aldi McKay reported seeing a water beast in Loch Ness. And that's interesting because that was the first modern sighting of the monster, and it was reported.
Further on in this, it says she's often described as large, long-necked, with one or more humps protruding from the water. Is that Mrs. Aldi McKay or the Loch Ness monster?
No, that's Mrs. Aldi McKay's husband when he was doing backstroke in the loch and getting excited at the same time. So, but yeah. It was good that's a good tie-in, I think, though, for that museum that it is in the Drumnadrochit Hotel, which was the former, it was that, and that's really where the modern mystery started. Anyway, affectionately known as Nessie.
There's that one from 50. Is it 1513? Is it?
There is, but obviously you can't take that seriously, can you?
Why?
Well, it was a Catholic priest, I think, wasn't it? St. Columba or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what Catholic priests are like. We don't really want to be. If they say no, I didn't touch that boy, then it's like, well, full of shit. So yeah, a sighting that far back is you can't really rely on it. And also that was in the River Ness, not in Loch Ness. And also, St. Columba was wherever he went, he would slay a dragon or some shit. Anyway, so you can't really.
Real chad.
Exactly.
But that's why
The
there's no
modern
dragons
mystery.
left.
Yeah, that's why there's none left. Killed them all.
Yeah.
What a bastard.
Yeah.
Nessie's dead. It was killed by St. Columba.
He didn't kill the beast, but the monster was about to attack a swimmer, and he said, "Go no more," and made the sign of the cross, and then the beast back down. But yeah, and there have been sightings over the years before 1933, but then most Scottish lochs do have a tradition of monster.
Well, the Kelpies,
sightings.
the
Like
Kelpie
Kelpie.
Scottish, isn't it?
Exactly, it's the Kelpie. Like, you know that, for example. So, but no, in 1933, that was when this sighting happened, and after this, the whole thing kicked off, and Loch Ness Monster became famous. So, anyway.
Oh, do you know about the Museum of Mankind?
I don't know of this. No,
Where is
this?
No, I didn't even know about it.
In London.
Yeah.
Museum of Mankind in Mayfair. No, I don't know this. I know the Natural History Museum, and the Science Museum, but not the Museum of Mankind.
Oh,
Doesn't
shit!
Ring a bell.
Speaking of museums, you heard about the which museum is it? The one where that dude was selling shit on eBay. Is it the British? I don't want to get the wrong. I don't want to get the wrong museum and get. But yeah, the bloke was selling stuff on eBay.
Fossils and stuff.
Yeah, probably some Egyptian stuff as well. Now everyone's kicking off and they want their stuff back.
Bastard, yeah. I'll tell you one thing, though. I went to the Science Museum some years ago now. It was good, it was.
It was between 1970 and 1997.
Oh, yeah, you must have sold a lot of stuff then in that period.
No, this was the Museum of Mankind.
Oh, right. Oh, so it's not open anymore.
No.
Just a side note, though. I went to the Science Museum. It was some time ago now, but I did go there, and when I went there, what it had was an exhibition of the James Bond cars. It was really good, to be honest. Or the Aston Martin, the Lotus, all that shit. But that's just me. So, anyway.
Oh, so this is the bit. What we know about the museum theft so far. The museum sacked a staff member over the theft of items, which the police are now investigating. It was the British Museum. Sacked a member of staff over treasures reported missing, stolen, or damaged. Well, surely they know which ones, don't they? It's understood the missing items were taken before this year and over a significant period of time. Some of them ended up on eBay being sold for considerably less than their actual estimated value. None of the
British
treasures.
Museum.
None of the treasures that had recently been on display, so he was like flogging them out of the storage then.
No, I have been to I do know the British Museum now, actually, thinking about it. I used to work by there. That's got a lot of Egyptian stuff in, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So it's all right, though, because they've already tightened their security arrangements.
Well done. I was going to go there.
Is that not just like the least they could do? That's not like, oh, look how good we are. That's just like, yeah, you should have done that anyway.
So, just before COVID, they had Tutankhamun touring and all that, his stuff. I
saw that down in Dorchester.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't have the death mask, does it, though? Because that pissed me off a bit, because they were advertising it with the death mask, which is the money shot, isn't it?
I think the death mask was there when I went
really?
down to Dorchester.
Well, I checked before I was. I didn't go because of COVID, but I was going to go. Before I went, I did check, and I said, "Is the death mask going to be there?" And they said, "No, it's too delicate to take on tour." And I was like, "Well, that's a bit out of order, isn't it? You advertise. That's what people want to see. You're advertising it as well."
The Telegraph has reported that between 1,000 and 2,000 items are missing, according to sources. The figure is closer to 2,000. Among the treasures that have previously gone missing from the British Museum are a Cartier ring worth 750,000 quid and a 12-centimetre marble head. During the 1970s, the museum said a number of historic coins and medals were stolen. In 1993, Roman coins and jewellery worth 250,000 were taken after 3 thieves broke in via the roof. In 2002, the museum reviewed security after a 2,500-year-old Greek statue believed to be worth around 25,000 was stolen by a member of the public.
How can you nick that? Must have been heavy. How can you nick that?
Oh, in 2017, it was revealed that an expensive Cartier diamond had actually been missing since 2011. In 2004, it was reported that 15 historically important Chinese artifacts, including jewels, ornate hairpins, and fingernail guards, have been taken by a member of the public. Fucking crazy, isn't it?
Well, it is a bit mad.
Yeah.
That's gone forever now.
Yeah.
Not going to see those again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. But okay.
Alphabet Cat says that is seriously bad security. It's just fucking beyond, isn't it?
King Tut, King shit, more like. Anyway, let's have a look then. Back to the Loch Ness thing, though. Affectionately known as Nessie, the supposed monster which made the loch its home, has evaded curious eyes ever since. Thousands of tourists flocking to Scotland each year in a bid to spot her. She is often described as large, long-necked, with one or more humps protruding from the water. Popular interest and belief in Nessie has varied since it was brought to worldwide attention in 1933, and most evidence is anecdotal, with the number of disputed photographs and sonar readings. So this is what's coming up. Over the weekend, surveying equipment that has never been used in Loch Ness before will be enlisted to uncover the secrets of the mysterious waters. This includes thermal drones, which produce thermal images of the water from the air using infrared cameras, and observing heat from above could prove a crucial component for identifying the mysterious anomalies.
Unless it's cold-blooded, that is.
Exactly. It wouldn't be, or would it be? I don't know how it works. Cold-blooded, hot-blooded, hot-blooded cardboard box.
Yeah.
A hydrophone will be used to detect acoustic signals under the water.
Is that like an iPhone? Are they gonna drop a waterproof iPhone down to Nessie?
It's a dance you do when you're pilled out, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
the hydrophone.
Yeah. No. A hydrophone. Yeah, that's right. That's for sound signals. That will be used for listening for any Nessie-like calls, as well as further technology in the hunt for the truth.
Oh, Nessie-like calls. So they know what Nessie calls sound like.
Yeah, it sort of sounds like this. Ooh.
Ooh.
That. So, as part of weekend activities, the Loch Ness
Centre...
So
have you been there then, the Loch Ness Centre at Drumnadrocket?
Yeah, that's the Loch Ness Centre.
Oh, is that where the sub is and stuff?
Yeah, that's the museum. That's the museum, yeah. That's where the sub is. That's where McCann is, what we saw last year. As I said, it was
Steve
shabby.
Felton weren't there, was he? But he shit it because he heard you were coming.
He showed his face this year, though. He's in photos of it this year.
Yeah.
You know, revamped, and he's probably getting a few quid. He'll turn up. Anyway. The Loch Ness Centre and LNE are looking for monster hunters to take part in a giant surface watch of the loch. So yeah, that sounds good. I'd like to go to that, but as I said, it is a long way for me to go. Obviously, it's accommodation. Not the best time of year, I don't think, as well. There will be too many tourists there. I don't like this time of year. And also, it might be, there will be too many weirdos. Also, I might get into a fist fight with Steve Felton if he's there as well, so just keep away. In the car park. So these volunteers will keep an eye out for breaks in the water and inexplicable movements. So each morning, Alan McKenna from LNE will brief volunteers at the centre on what to look out for.
What's LNE?
And how to record findings. Loch Ness Exploration.
Oh, okay.
That's the group. There's also a debrief in the afternoon to go through the day's events. I get the feeling, though, if I went on this, I'd get completely pissed just looking at I'd take some cans with me and
with a load of Tenant Super.
My deck chair and get hammered.
A load of Tenant Super. That's what you drink at Tenant Super.
Yeah, and weed, but I can't have that anymore. Doctor's orders, so that's that fucked, isn't it? I'd have a good chance of seeing the monster if I could do that now. Anyway, Alan McKenna of LNE said. Hell yeah, just some skunk nice. Just chill you out. It'd been very nice actually, chilled out on the side of the loch, listening to the waves. Yeah. Since starting LNE, it's always been a goal to record, study, and analyse all manner of natural behaviour and phenomena that may be more challenging to explain. Our hope is to inspire a new generation of Loch Ness enthusiasts by joining this large-scale surface watch. Have the real opportunity to personally contribute towards this fascinating mystery that has captivated so many people from around the world. Paul Nixon, general manager of the Loch Ness Centre, said, "We are guardians of this unique story."
Oh yeah, that is from inside the Loch Ness Centre.
Yeah, from inside the centre in the gift shop. So, we are guardians of this unique story, and as well as investing and creating unforgettable experiences for visitors, we are committed to helping continue search and reveal the mysteries that lie underneath the waters of the famous loch. He said, "This weekend gives us an opportunity to search the waters in a way that has never been done before, and we can't wait to see what we will find."
Fuck all.
To volunteer and be involved in the
I
search.
already know what they're gonna find. Fuck all.
Click here if you want to volunteer, but it's getting a bit fucking late now, isn't it? So you're not going to get on now. I don't want to anyway. So, yeah. So there you go. Join in the fun.
Oh, I've got a missing story here. SNP in £800,000 deficit as donations and membership fees fall. Missing money. School.
Yeah.
Where's Hobbit then? He ain't been in much tonight, has he?
Maybe he's sulking again.
Now, isn't he?
Exactly. He's gone in the same place as Dom, hasn't he? He's catching this disappearing act.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. It's only when you're here, Ian, I think he's scared of you.
You think so?
Yeah.
I am quite hard though. I can look after myself. So yeah, that is yeah. I can look, in a one-on-one, stripped to the waist, bare knuckle, and yeah, probably come out on top. So he probably doesn't like that. Yeah. What we got then? UFO over the Cotswolds. Actually, that's near me.
Oh, actually, go on then. Cotswolds.
Let's have a look at that one. Mystery UFO hovers over the Cotswolds. Let's have a look at this. In Gloucester Live, and as we pointed out earlier, I'll put it in the chat there, Hemi. Let's have a look. Just put it at home. Oh, fucking hell. So that we
further
can...
up and it's already in here, isn't it?
Somewhere. It's in here somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, UFO. Mystery UFO hovers
Homegrown
over the Cotswolds.
UFO.
Yeah. That's a different story.
Gloucestershire Live. We love her.
Home of Fred West.
I'm with Fred
Right then.
I'm with Fred West patios. Reasonable rates.
Patio builder extraordinaire. And here's even a photo on this one. So, a married couple has been left baffled and searching for answers as they took a photograph of a picturesque Cotswold town and found a UFO in two of the images. We can actually see this. It's not very good, is it? They were travelling home. They were travelling home to Elmore, a small village near Craigjelly, and they stopped off at a Cirencester and can't quite work out exactly what they managed to photograph.
Oh,
Two pictures were taken quickly.
He's undeafened now, so I bet. Do you want to comment on any of this? Do you want to come on your own show?
Hey.
Oh, I was talking to someone about gnomes, and I said, yes. Well, I don't know what it is about my mates. I say, look, Thursday, I'm streaming, so could you talk to me any of the other 6 days of the week?
Yeah.
Or if you do want to ring me up on Thursday, can it not be between the hours of 7 and 9? And it's like, oh, yeah. And then look, maybe people have all got prion diseases from an experimental gene therapy, but they've got fuck all memory.
Hobbit, I got one from the chat. Ash says, someone I know said one landed years back on an airstrip near Whitney, a UFO. I believe he's talking about.
Oh, well, the closest military base to that would be RAF Bryce Norton. I have heard nothing about this.
Yeah.
Not Rendlesham.
Where's Rendlesham?
Rendlesham's the other way. That's Ipswich.
Ipswich.
Yeah. Rendlesham's out Ipswich way, isn't it? It's RAF Woodbridge, isn't it?
Woodbridge, yeah, it's pretty good. It's
Well,
where the most famous UFO incident was, which we did cover some time ago, didn't we?
that was quite funny, that one was. Hobbit, what do you think of this UFO picture from Cirencester?
Oh, what, the one where it's a drone recording
like
some
nipple.
overhead footage?
It looks like a nipple. I'm not
It
gonna
looks
lie.
like a nipple.
It does. Yeah, they've just done a tit, and then they've just drawn a ring round it.
That,
continue with it, though.
That, to me, looks like a smear on someone's windscreen, and it makes me want to like get the screen wash out and just
it's
give it a scrub.
yeah, it's a bug on a windscreen.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call, I bet. Bug on a windscreen.
That's it. Yeah.
It'd be an alien craft, though, because the two pictures were taken quickly, and the UFO was seen hovering above the building, and then it heads downwards and turns red. So it would turn red. So
Here's an idea, right?
No, I'll tell you what, though. If you look, so where the nipple is, can you see the... there's like a cloud formation. I don't think that's a cloud formation. I think that's a reflection on the glass.
But the reason why it turned red...
Call on that one.
It wasn't red originally.
The aliens are, in fact, like their UFO craft are disguised as insects.
Yeah.
Because they don't look human. Well, they're not. They're insects. But I'm saying they look alien.
It turned red because it splattered on the glass, didn't it? The glass hit the insect, and then impact made its guts fall out, and that's why it turned red.
So it was green. It was a green fly that hit the windscreen, and then the guts came. That's why it went from green to red.
Exactly.
Oh, Ash will find the details for us on that, Whitney.
Right into glass.
Did you want to do the? Did you want to do the face peelers? I
can't find anything about it. So, in summary,
I found a couple of stories, so I can read them.
Oh, right. So, in summary, a few weeks ago in Peru, aliens have been killing Peruvians, and they take some of their skin off, but there's no gore, there's no blood, and the bone underneath is completely bleached white, like it's been exposed for a long time.
That makes it like
if it's been exposed for a long time, then why isn't the flesh rotting off? It's fucked up. It's like the exsanguination-free parts that we did. These have been exsanguinated. Yeah. And now, can't find the pictures for love nor money. Yeah. No mention of it on 4chan. X has got fuck all to do with it. It's just like, oh, how can I use tarot to summon a succubus girlfriend? Fuck you, X. You bunch of degenerate wankers. Seriously, what? X is supposed to be paranormal. TFW, no ethereal, interdimensional girlfriend to give you a handy. Bastards. So, fuck you, 4chan. You disappoint me.
Hobbit, you absolute conspiracy believing ball. Yeah, there's been an
explanation for it now. To answer Stephen J. James, is there any batshit theory I don't believe in? Present me one and I'll tell you whether it's credible or not.
Yeah. How about this batshit theory that it's gold miners wearing jetpacks? Illegal gold miners wearing jetpacks.
So, like, I know there's one guy who's got a jetpack, and it's got a range of about 18 seconds. So, the illegal gold miners got a lot of money for experimental jetpack technology.
You see what happened, Hobbit, is that experimental jetpack slammed so hard into the ground it took that guy's face off.
Yeah.
Without cooking the rest of the flesh.
But the description is really weird. They're dressed. They look like the Green Goblin from Spider-Man, literally, don't they? Like, and they're armored and stuff. So the villagers described the attackers' shoes as round shape, which they used to float 1 meter from the ground with a red light on the heel. So they wear Heelys as well.
Red light on the heel.
A 15-year-old girl was allegedly grabbed from behind and had her neck cut when she resisted. Some of the guys said, I shot one of them twice and he wasn't injured. He rose and disappeared. We're very frightened about what's happening here in our community. The guy said, these gentlemen are aliens. They appear to be armoured like the Green Goblin from Spider-Man.
Okay.
It's
Battle
fucking
suits.
Yeah.
Orange.
So
Yeah.
why are they taking people's faces? Are they willing to wear them?
Well, you're not supposed to talk about that, Fraser.
All right. Okay.
You're not supposed to talk about that because that bit has disappeared completely from all the reporting of this.
Memory hold completely.
Yeah,
It could be a bit
gone.
like it could be a bit like Hellraiser 2, where the one girl wears the woman's skin, isn't it? Julia's skin.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I thought it was quite an attractive older woman, to be honest.
Julia, you give her one.
Yeah, I thought she was all right. Yeah. This was 30 odd years ago, so I don't think she's. I don't think she's
now.
aged
I
well.
think she might be gone over a bit.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be up for it now, but in those
what's
days,
this
yeah.
one? I think this one's slightly better. So I got any more? So these people are the Iktu, are indigenous people. I think this is all the same stuff. What's this? Is this a? I've got.
What's this? The face.
There are no decent. Like the face, the one with the face ripped off has completely disappeared now.
Yep.
What else we got?
So yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good then. What's in unexplained histories this week? Anything
Oh,
good?
God, you lot can do unexplained histories. Tell us which ones you want to do.
Let's have a look then. Is there any alien big cat action? I think there has been, but
I mean, isn't that been proven now? Like there is a big cat in the UK, at least one.
well, there has been, because the thing is I think personally, I mean, I like my cryptids, but the alien big cats, they don't do it for me because it's so plausible, It's a real animal.
I think there was someone actually had a fucking non-blurry photo of one now. Like,
well, they have. Some people actually do have. Some idiots do have pet cat, pet humans or whatever, because they're just stupid. It's illegal, but you can have it, and then sometimes they do escape and go walkabout, and people do see them. That happens, So, but yeah, so I prefer dinosaur type cryptids or ape man type cryptids. An unknown ape man would be.
Have you seen good. India's Chandrayaan 3 spacecraft has successfully landed on the moon?
And also in space news, Russia's Luna 25 probe destroyed as it crashes into the moon.
Yeah. Was it the Indian bad driving that caused the Russian accident?
I believe the two events are correlated. Also, another headline which I want to read out. No, Nibiru didn't appear and destroy the Earth last week. Do you remember when Nibiru was called Planet X?
Yeah.
It didn't have this stupid made-up name, Nibiru.
What do you mean? Some conspiracy theorists have been expecting the non-existent planet Nibiru to collide with the Earth on Friday.
Nibiru sounds like a racial slur. I think they called it Planet of Nibiru.
Nibiru.
Nibiru, planet.
The wandering planet.
NASA's Psyche mission may reveal the. Is it Psyche as in psych we're bullshit, or is it Psyche as in watch us wreck the mic, Psyche?
Psych, yeah. Psych.
Sun's and deck, isn't it?
Yeah, that was. I'm glad someone got that reference.
There is Peruvian villagers claim to be under attack by 7-foot tall aliens.
Oh, is it in here? Is it? I can't see that.
They just posted it in the Discord there. We can run through that one quickly.
Go on then, Ian.
Right, let's have a look.
Take it away.
Yeah, posted up there. So, okay, so a bizarre story out of Peru this week concerns a village that has been plagued by mysterious assailants. According to reports, members of the Iquitu tribe in rural Peruvian district believe that they have been attacked by 7-foot tall aliens that have been dubbed La Pelicaras, or the face peelers. Haven't we covered this?
Yeah, we've just done this.
Anyway.
Yeah, but this is what we're saying. They're called the face peelers. Why? I don't know. Says the press.
Right, well, that's that fucked. So we
more lying by omission, like Ghislaine Maxwell got arrested for trafficking children.
To
who?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
That part of the story is just not important.
Yeah.
All right, yours one then. Let's have
I know you only read the first part of the thing, Hemi, about the shoes, but you should have read the other bits. Their heads are long, they wear a mask, and their eyes are yellowish. They are experts at escaping.
Experts
at escaping.
How about this one then? Boy allows Black Widow to bite him in an effort to become Spider-Man.
Fucking hell.
Okay.
Whoops.
Yeah, that one's just in Discord there. Let's go through this one quickly then. A young boy attempted to gain the powers of the fictional...
Is he going to be a Darwin Award winner this year? Are we doing when are the Darwin Awards, Ian?
He was in... I don't know. They do come out every year.
Because you did the Darwin Awards last year, didn't you?
This one's Greta Thunberg's classmate, isn't it? She was in the remedial stream. She was with the Div kids. And no doubt they knew each other. So anyway, the young boy attempted to gain the powers of the fictional web slinger by enlisting the services of a Black Widow spider. It goes without saying that being bitten by a deadly spider does not give you superpowers.
Remember, kids, if you are going to watch Spider-Man, remember to always turn the subtitles on if you're in a foreign country.
Exactly.
don't just watch it and think you know what's happening on screen.
According to reports, an 8-year-old boy from Victorluma, Bolivia, recently attempted exactly this when he discovered a Black Widow spider hiding underneath a rock at a nearby river. Hoping to gain web slinging powers, he picked it up and allowed it to bite him on the hand. When he got home, he was initially reluctant to tell his mother why he was suffering from severe aches and muscle contractions. But when his condition worsened, he had no choice to fess up. He was quickly rushed to hospital and given an antidote which counteracted the venom. We are extremely concerned because it came... Yeah, it came to our attention from the analysis and responses from the child after he had recovered that he had used the arachnid for one simple purpose, said Ernesto Vasquez, head of Zoonotonic Diseases Program for the Department of Health.
Oh God, how did we miss this one? Mega Spider is so large it can bite through fingernails.
Go for it.
Oh, as if the spiders
is this Australia? This has got to be in Australia.
As if the spiders in Australia weren't bad enough already. A gargantuan female funnel web spider. This is from 2021. This is measuring a whopping 8 centimeters across. I think we've already done this story. 8 centimeters across was recently donated to the Australian Reptile Park in Somersby, New South Wales, as part of its ongoing anti-venom program. The spider is particularly unusual because funnel webs usually only grow to a maximum of 5 centimeters. Grim.
Nice.
Just
grim.
Fucking Australia.
I had a close encounter though. I picked up I was in Australia and I picked up a rock and to throw into a river, and on the other side, about 2 or 3 inches from my hand, was a redback spider. So I was a bit lucky there.
Yeah.
So it could have been fatal.
What do you do? Just dash the rock on the floor and splatter it?
I shot through it in the.
So, was everybody enjoying the UFO hearings? Well, don't, because they're finished. We're running. So we're running into a lot of roadblocks here. There's a problem with the whole thing, said Rep Tim Burchett. It just creates more and more conspiracy theories because our federal government is so arrogant and so bloated they'll just run out the clock. I'm guilty of this as well, but Americans want their pizzas in 30 minutes or less, and that's about our dadgum attention span. Fucking hell.
Greedy bastards.
Yeah.
What about new evidence suggests that even spiders have dreams?
We did that one.
Oh God!
And they don't. They didn't prove it.
They dream. Maybe they dream that they go to spiders.
Sleep or not? How are we going to know spiders dream?
Yeah.
they dream that they walk into spider school and then they're naked.
And their web jets are blocked. I don't know.
Yeah, and all the other spiders are in their class.
Oh shit! Yeah, this was in the Fortean the other week, weren't it? The 300 paranormal incidents recorded at Notorious Haunted House. The Pennyford Farm, Ian? Have you heard about this one?
I think it rings a bell, but I think what happened, because I'm so tight with my money, I do go, as I said before, and this is a bit of advice for the people at home as well. If you want to buy a magazine, go into W.H. Smith, flick through it on the shelf, and there's nothing interested in there, don't buy it. So I do that with the Fortean Times. So I don't go for a subscription. I'll have a look at it, and then if there's nothing in there to interest me, then I will not buy it. So I think that was one of the ones I didn't buy.
If like Ian, you're too tight to buy a copy of the Fortean Times, there's a new BBC documentary called Paranormal: The Girl, the Ghost and the Gravestone.
Nice.
These range from disembodied voices in empty rooms to sightings of full-blown apparitions. In one case, a large wooden owl was seen moving on its own, while in another, a figure of a pregnant woman mysteriously appeared on the patio before vanishing into thin air.
Yeah, it's strange that, because the figure of a pregnant woman appeared before me after I had sex with her. It was very peculiar.
Oh,
yeah. Oh dear. No, it sounds good. Jeff the Talking Mongoose film is coming out, I think, soon on Netflix. Starring,
oh yeah, who's in that again? Who's the
Simon Pegg is in
Simon
it. There's
Pegg.
a few big names in it, to be honest. Yeah, but Simon Pegg's in it, so it should be good. I don't think there's been a decent film about it. It should be good to see.
They found the graves of some Templar Knights in Enville in Staffordshire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not on Oak Island then.
No. How is Oak Island Watch? Do you want to do Oak Island Watch?
Well, I used to watch it adamantly, but to be honest, that was a few years ago. There's been new series, and I'm getting a bit sick of it. They're not going to find the treasure. There's no treasure there.
Yeah.
It's stupid. They never should have started it in the first place. I could have told them there was no treasure there anyway. It's like that was obvious. Yeah, but they're
Fraser,
still going with it.
Here's one for you. Remarkably well-preserved dinosaur embryo found inside fossilised egg.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
Incredibly rare specimen was just found collecting dust in the back room of a museum in China.
Oh, fucking hell.
What do a guy do?
How about this one? Some dude's made an insane replica of Short Circuit's Johnny 5 in his garage. That is a pretty good fucking replica. Reminder that the dude, he's from Nottinghamshire as well. Life-size, full-functional replica of the iconic movie robot during lockdown. The robot is capable of moving like its on-screen counterpart, working with working tank treads, movable arms, eyebrows and neck, as well as the ability to speak with the same voice. Howard admits he's lost count of exactly how much the project cost. There's no design the impact so I'll just put this clip on. I'll put it on.
Yeah, it looks good.
With no sound. It does look pretty good, doesn't it? Reminder that Short Circuit 2 is bad. Don't watch Short Circuit 2 contains blackface. Do not watch Short Circuit 2. It's a naughty film. That's pretty cool. I gotta say, that's pretty cool. Dude's done a good job. He's done the flaps and everything.
Yep.
What else we got?
I wouldn't mind doing her flaps. She's alright, isn't she?
A woman dies after drinking too much water during boat trip. Is it me, or is this like specific to women? Because that woman, do you remember that woman that won a wee for her kids by she had to drink a load of water and not wee, and it kind of fucked her body up.
Yeah.
So what did she have? She had 4 bottles of water in 20 minutes.
That's not much.
That don't seem like a lot.
How much?
It depends. If they're 2-litre bottles and you can't have a piss, then that's probably quite serious.
Upon returning home, she complained of a sore head, passed out, and never woke up. According to doctors, some had suffered from water intoxication, a rare condition that occurs when someone drinks so much water that it throws off the body's electrolyte balance.
That is I don't know how old you are. Do you remember Leah Betts, the ecstasy girl?
Yeah, that's what she died
Yeah,
of.
that's what she did.
She didn't
Yeah,
die
'cause
of
people say,
ecstasy.
no,
She died of drinking about
she
15
drank
litres
too
of
much
water.
That's true. And also because her dad was a
Being
fucking
a
idiot.
moron.
Yeah.
This in turn causes sodium levels to drop, resulting in lethal swelling of the brain. So there you go. You don't die
Exactly.
of ease, you die of drinking too much water.
Exactly. So it's all right, kids. If you're at home, take ease. They're fucking good. So.
Who was Oppenheimer and what did he do before building the bomb? I don't know. Self-help guru, a builder. I don't know.
Life coach.
I think maybe he was a scientist.
And
Fucking
clerk.
stupid articles you get on here, don't you? William Shatner calls recent UFO revelations ridiculous. Hobbit, what do you say about this?
Well, what I say about that, though, myself, is I can't believe he's still alive. How old is that guy?
I know.
It's just that he's been to space recently. He's in his 90s, isn't he?
Yeah.
What do you think, Hobbit?
Has he gone?
I have no opinion on the matter.
What do you think to him saying that UFOs are bullshit?
I
Do you
mean,
reckon?
at this point, it's obvious, isn't it? It's like people saying chemtrails are bullshit. It's like, well, you're looking up there and you're telling me that's just lines of cocaine for God.
Oh,
Speaking of which, I noticed it
Fraser,
yesterday.
I've got one for you. Fossilised sea creature in Peru may have been the heaviest animal ever.
In the world.
Ever.
So, how Gigantosaurus was this one? Then?
This gargantuan creature lived in the ocean some 39 million years ago and weighed around 200 tons, equivalent to 33 elephants. But what is that in Olympic
this is how we
swimming
measure
pools?
things now in elephants.
In metric.
I thought it was supposed to be double-decker buses. I thought the three systems of measurement were football pitches, Olympic swimming pools, and double-decker buses. I'm not sure I like this new elephant measure. I can't get my head around elephant measures.
I mean, are we talking African or Indian elephants? You know, which one we on?
So they found a whole 18 bones, Fraser, 13 vertebrae, 4 ribs, and a partial hip bone.
That's it then. You know, biggest animal ever. Yeah,
ever.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
And where was it found?
Peru, I think.
Yeah, but where?
At a site in Peru. They called it Peru cetus.
Lemur. Talking of the biggest creature, though, have you seen Meg 2? That's pretty good.
No.
I saw it last weekend.
No, I haven't watched the first one yet. I've read the book.
Really, the first one's good, but I think this one's better. I think it's a good film.
I read the book.
Obviously, it's CGI, not you? Yeah, is it good? The Trench.
Yeah, the book. No, I've read the book of the first one. I haven't read the second book. There's about 4 or 5 books. There's plenty to do for it. I don't know whether they're sticking to the books or what.
It's just Jason Statham saying, "I get you, you muppet, you slag." Hey.
I'll fucking have you, cunt. Neil deGrasse Tyson has weighed in a debate over non-human biologics described by whistleblower David Grush. Perhaps the blah blah blah. What exactly did he mean by non-human biologics? While most people have interpreted this to be a reference to extraterrestrial entities, Neil deGrasse Tyson has instead suggested that this phrase could mean something else entirely.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah. Black Science Man.
Yeah.
Hobbit.
Mic drop Science Man. Yeah.
Hobbit, can you comment on Black Science Man without...
Isn't backflip amazing? Like, you see all these bicycles laying around. There's more stolen bicycles in my garage than there are stars in the night sky. That's what Black Science Man sounds like. Hey, yo, give me that motherfucker.
The story again, I think we covered this last week, didn't we? Man in China with a light bulb and he's stuck in his mouth.
Not stuck up his ass because he says, "Oh,
no, it's in.
I got home and I
it's because some fucking
went up
retarded,
but...
because of some retarded TikTok challenge.
Fuck me! It's the new water. It's just the new fucking Tide Pod challenge. Fucking
yeah. New study discovers how diamonds make their way to the surface. So there we go. They're just like diamonds.
Scratch the ground. Yeah.
They're like moles.
Just scratch the ground.
Yeah, just pop out. They just spring up out of the ground. Diamonds are carried up in molten rocks or magmas called kimberlites. Until now, we didn't know what process caused kimberlites. Suddenly, didn't Victoria Wood used to talk about kimberlites, Ian? Gimbaler.
I'm not sure.
She always used to do jokes about something called Gimbaler, didn't she?
Magma is Donald Trump's campaign slogan, isn't it?
So kimberlites. So until now, Fraser, we didn't know what process caused kimberlites to suddenly
did it bounce up and down?
To suddenly shoot through the Earth's crust, having spent billions or even millions or even billions of years stowed away under the continents.
Yeah.
Wait, so what is the process then?
So two main theories have emerged. One proposes that kimberlite magmas exploit the wounds created when the Earth's crust is stretched, or when the slabs of rock covering the Earth, known as tectonic plates, split up. The other theory involves mantle plumes, the colossal upwellings of molten rock from the core mantle boundary, located about 2,900 kilometres beneath the Earth's surface. Don't diamonds come from South Africa? And I don't know.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't know, because I'm generally quite ignorant of this stuff. Is South Africa in the middle of two tectonic plates?
Nope.
So okay then.
Nope.
So
it's nowhere. No, it's like us. We're nowhere near it.
There was a thing somewhere in South Africa, like this massive pile of I want to say uranium, that it's been going fission well, they say naturally for millions of years, producing heat. But that's also where you find these strange artificial objects. They're these iron spheres which are hollow, and they have a ridge around the equator. Very strange. They estimate, if they're as old as the coal seams found in them, they're 26 million years old.
Yeah.
You know, just there you go. Here's an object which, I mean, presumably it's man-made. It looks like something we could make, but it's in a seam of rock 26 million years old. They look a bit like a Yeptus.
So it says here, both ideas are not without their problems. Firstly, the main part of the tectonic plate, known as the lithosphere, is incredibly strong and stable. This makes it difficult for fractures to penetrate, enabling magmas to flush through. So basically, they've come out with a theory that doesn't even make sense. In addition, many kimberlites don't display Hobbit. Is this a chemical thing? Don't display the chemical flavours we'd expect to find in rocks derived from mantle plumes.
I have no idea what that means, because I mean, diamonds are they're literally a diamond lattice of carbon, and it's like, well, carbon's something you definitely find in magma.
Oh no! This is where science is
going.
going.
Sorry, I got the numbers wrong. They're not 26 million years old. They're 2,800 million years old, or 2.8 billion if you want to use the American numbering convention.
Hobbit.
Yeah, let me just
listen to where science is going. You've got to listen to this, Hobbit. So not this one. The next paragraph. In contrast, kimberlite formation is thought to involve exceedingly low degrees of mantle rock melting, often less than 1%, so another mechanism is needed. Our study offers a possible resolution to this long-standing conundrum. Right, are you ready for this, Hobbit? Where science is going? We deployed statistical analysis, including machine learning and application of artificial intelligence, to forensically examine the link between continental breakup and kimberlite volcanism. The results of our global study showed the eruptions of most kimberlite volcanoes occurred 20
fiction made by writers.
Not
real.
It's not even made by writers. It's made by computers.
It's not real. The AI made it up.
Yeah. It's just like I'm just gonna forget the rest of this. It's how can you be? How can you be?
What is the processes then? Like splitting apart, but most diamonds.
Well, I think
fucking tectonic plate.
I think what they're trying to say is the diamond gets created and then it gets shoved up through the earth. It doesn't make sense, does it?
If the Earth's mantle has pressure sufficient to form gemstones, including rubies and diamonds and all of the other gemstones one could care to mention, other gems are available.
But this surely, if you're putting the information, if you're putting the information in, the AI isn't coming up with what's happening. It's trying to tell you. Answers from
they haven't actually. This is speculation. They haven't actually.
They're just getting a story saying once upon a time, plates collided, and then
we're not sure.
So in other words, it's just magic mirror on the wall. Tell me what I want to hear.
Yeah. It's okay. So
anyway,
finding new diamond deposits. This model. Hold on a bit. This model doesn't contradict the spatial association between kimberlites and mantle plumes. On the contrary, the breakup of tectonic plates may or may not result from the warming, thinning, and weakening of the plate caused by plumes. However, our research clearly shows that the spatial, time-based and chemical patterns observed in most kimberlite-rich regions can't be adequately explained solely by the presence of plumes. This sounds like nonsense.
Well, no, it's okay. So they're noticing that there's a lot of plumes, but not all of them have diamonds in or something.
I don't know. No, what they're saying is that I don't know what they're saying.
Send us a link.
Yeah, you have a look at this. See what you think.
Yeah.
I bet you want to have a look at this. See if you can, and then we'll go over to your bit.
Fucking the puzzle.
No.
Cycle domino effect.
Long story short. Earth's mantle, the morphitic discontinuity line, sufficient pressure to make gemstones, sufficient pressure to make crude oil, which is methane condensation.
Well, here's the thing, right? You haven't even proved the mantle exists yet.
Yeah, because it moves at such a slow... It moves slowly, doesn't it?
There's something down there which causes lava and gemstones to issue forth, as well as the crude oil.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I know what's down there, but there is something down there and it's hot.
Yeah. And we're trying to get that hot place up here. Is that what you're saying, Hubby?
Well, they must be changing the atmosphere for some reason. I noticed that yesterday. Not a cloud in the sky. Comes to about evening, or I should say late afternoon, and they're just doing crisscross grid patterns in the sky again. Fuckers.
Yeah.
Climate change.
Fairy Morgana says science isn't about proof, it's about disproof.
Oh, so they're saying that the kimberlite-rich regions aren't adequately explained by the solely presence of... So the plumes, they're not sure if the plumes are actually creating these regions.
So they've found some link between diamond and kimberlites, and they're trying to work backwards rather than doing proper science, because they just don't do proper science anymore, do they?
Yeah, they haven't actually tested this. Vary A to see if it causes B, right? That's. But yeah, okay, so they're just speculating.
Go on then, Hobbit. What do you want to talk about?
They've got an anomaly. So.
Yeah.
Talk about your little round things, didn't you?
2.8 billion-year-old spheres found in South Africa. Yeah. How were they made? So not 26 million years old. Spheres found in the mines of South Africa have piqued the curiosity of researchers for decades. According to Michael Creamer, I haven't heard that name in years, and other researchers of prehistoric culture, these spheres add a body of evidence suggesting intelligent life existed on Earth long before the conventional view of history places it here. Cremo has travelled the world gathering information on out-of-place artefacts, which he calls parts because he's a dickhead. He compiled his findings in the popular book Forbidding Archaeology, The Hidden History of the Human Race. In 1984, while investigating the spheres, he contacted Rolf Marx, curator of the Museum of Klerksdorp, South Africa, where some of the spheres are kept. Marx described the spheres as being about 2.8 billion years old, with a very hard surface and fibrous structure inside. He found them quite strange and puzzling. Marx wrote, according to Cremo, "There is nothing scientific published about the globes. Hello, I am South African. But the facts are, they are found in pyrophyllite, which is mined near the little town of Ottosdal in the western Transvaal. This pyrophyllite is quite soft secondary mineral with a count of only 3 on the Mohs scale, a scale of 1 to 10 on the rank hardest of minerals, and was formed by sedimentation about 2.8 billion years ago. On the other hand, the globes, which have a fibrous structure on the inside with a shell around it, are very hard and cannot be scratched even by steel. The Mohs scale of hardness is named after Friedrich Mohs, who chose 10 minerals as reference points for comparative hardness, with talc the softest and diamond the hardest. Steel ranks about 6.5 to 7.5 on the Mohs scale, so the spheres would be harder than that, according to Marx. Were they naturally formed? Some say the spheres were formed by natural process of concretion because they're idiots. Concretions are masses of hardened mineral matter. Some of the so-called Klerksdorp spheres are elliptical in shape with rough ridges around the centre, but some are so balanced in shape and proportion, and the grooves around them look so straight and hand-carved, it seems unlikely they were naturally formed, say proponents of the theory that these spheres were made by intelligent beings. In 2002, the Klerksdorp Museum posted a letter from John Hunt of Petersburg, South Africa.
Yeah, I thought about that as well. They look like cricket balls, don't they, Hobbit?
Yeah, exactly. The claims made in this letter are not verified. According to geologist Paul V. Heinrich, and the letter was removed. Hunt stated one of the spheres was tested at the California Space Institute. The scientists concluded that its balances are so fine it exceeded the limit of their measuring technology. It was within 100 thousandths of an inch from absolute perfection. So it's. This is not the first time we've seen this as well. Like in Egypt, they date from 40,000 years ago. There's these vases with incredible symmetry. And funny enough, one of my jobs when I was lorry driving was I delivered a mirror for this scientific imaging place, which had taken a year to manufacture. And I was saying, so it's got a good level of precision. How do you make sure it's a good sphere? And he says, well, it's done by hand, but then we use a laser interferometer to make sure that it's following the correct curve. And I think I understand laser interferometry being that you shine multiple laser beams together and then you get interference patterns, and based on where those patterns converge, you can measure things very precisely. So I asked him about the things there, and they said, "Oh yeah, you'd struggle to make them today. You couldn't do them with chisels." And I said, "What about a lathe?" And he says, "Well, if you had like a 6-axis milling machine, and one of the best ones, you could make that sort of symmetry." And I said, "Well, they're not like they're not plastic. They're not a homogeneous material. You can see bits of quartz and stuff in there. It's like." Yeah, I don't know how you carve something like that. With great difficulty, I'd imagine. So, yeah, these objects, they are... I don't know if they're human-made. They're definitely artificial. They've got high levels of precision, so they are high technology. I mean, you can say what you like about them. The fact that they are like perfect spheres, some of these, with very, very good symmetry, it should should tell you all you need to know. Said my piece.
Informative, yeah.
It's like the what's it? The what was I think? What was I going to say? Where's my train of thought? It's like the sculptures, like the old sculptures. Like you really saying they did that with crude chisels?
Oh, what you mean? The ones made out of marble, where it looks like human flesh, and there's one of a fisherman casting his net, and there's mermaids underneath the net.
Yeah,
it's just like, yeah, that's just hammer and chisel, mate, innit?
All those ones with the eyes. You seen the ones with the coloured eyes?
Oh, it's superb.
Yeah.
Well, my favourite one of that is the ones where it looks like it's a woman's face and she's wearing a veil of silk, and it's like, how on earth do you make marble look like that?
Yeah, there's that whole Twitter thread, weren't there? Is that that's the one you're talking about, isn't it? I'll put that whole Twitter.
It looks like a woman, but in fact, it's a dude. And how did they achieve that? I've been fooled before when I was in Thailand. Yeah. What about man recounts tale of Bigfoot peering through his bedroom window?
Dirty boy.
I should go with this one. This isn't a long one, so I can just go with that. One man's childhood encounter with a mysterious, hairy humanoid left an impact that would last for almost 50 years. Is there an undiscovered species of bipedal ape-like creature roaming the wilds of Missouri? One man, an Air Force veteran named Jerry, certainly seems to think so. His experience lasted only around 30 seconds, but it stuck with him throughout his life. It all happened in the mid-70s when he was around 11 or 12, and he had been laying on his bed overlooking a window which happened to be open at the time. All of a sudden, a silhouette of a large creature appeared, just standing there. The window was relatively high up off the ground, meaning the figure, whatever it was, would need to have been some 10 foot tall at the time in order to be reaching it.
Christ.
Frozen with fear, Jerry eventually plucked up the courage to shout for his dad, who spent ages checking around the house with a shotgun for signs of an intruder. Whatever the creature was, however, it had seemingly disappeared without a trace. So there we go.
How about this one then? Michael Raduga reportedly lost a significant amount of blood while undertaking a 10-hour procedure on his own head. Raduga, who maintains he has no neurosurgery qualifications whatsoever, performed the procedure in an effort to implant an electrode designed to help him control his dreams. He told reporters that he used paper clips to hold his scalp in place and a drill bought at a hardware store to open a hole in his skull so that he could implant the electrode in his brain. During the first 30 minutes, I was ready to give up many times because, first of all, I lost a lot of blood, approximately a litre of blood, he said. And it's not a litre, it's a litre. I don't, Yanks and their spelling. And it's just like L-I-T-E-R. That's not a litre of blood.
They say
a litre.
Trash can.
A lighter of blood. I was afraid I could just lose consciousness. He was seemingly motivated by a desire to help some other people to experience lucid dreams. For many people, controlling dreams will be some sort of entertainment, he told the Daily Mail. Now imagine a paralysed person who cannot experience anything in this life, and now we find a way to help him to get into a lucid dream where everything is possible. Even though the procedure appeared to be successful, Raduga is not out of the woods yet because it's unclear what sort of lasting damage he may have inflicted on himself. Suffice to say, do not try this at home. Fucking.
Sounds like he has a sick sense of humour there.
Yeah, fucking. Sounds like he's got too much time on his hands.
Yeah. He gets off on seeing other people suffer, basically.
What the fuck? Doctors in Israel reattach boy's head after he was internally decapitated.
I doubt
What?
A young boy had been riding his bike when a freak accident resulted in his head being severed on the inside. In a remarkable feat of surgical skill, a medical team at Hadassah En Kerem Trauma Unit in Jerusalem, Israel, successfully reattached the head of Suleiman Hassan, a 12-year-old Palestinian boy who suffered severe injuries when he was hit by a car while riding his bike. Specifically, his head was internally decapitated, meaning the ligaments and muscles in his neck had been detached from the top of his spine, even though the skin and blood vessels were still intact. We fought for the boy's life, said Dr. Ohad Einav told the Times of Israel. The procedure itself is very complicated and took several hours. While in the operating room, we used new plates and fixations in the damaged area. Our ability to save the child was thanks to our knowledge and the most innovative technology in the operating room. No doubt the boy will be a lot more wary when riding his bike in future.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he was doing no-handed. Have you done that? No-handed.
Yeah. Look, Ma, no hands. Oh, look, Ma, no head. I think that's what it was.
Look, Ma, no head.
Drone footage has found Bigfoot walking through a forest.
Oh yeah, this is good. Show this one. I've actually seen this.
I'm showing this one.
Go for it. Yeah, this is exciting.
My throat's starting to give up. I'll put it in the chat, Ian, and then you can do it.
I do it.
There you go.
Right. Okay. Show the. Let's have a look. Well, okay then. So we played the footage, and a piece of footage that has been doing the rounds on TikTok.
Oh yeah, it's here.
There was a bisexual ape-like creature trudging through the snow.
Bipedal.
He likes man Bigfoot and woman Bigfoot. What's wrong with that? It's all right. You know, best of both worlds. The video, which was originally uploaded 7 months ago by Ken's Carpentry on YouTube, recently enjoyed a new lease of life after it was posted on social media video site sharing TikTok. Isn't TikTok where nurses do dancing when they should be treating people with COVID?
It's basically the old sanitariums, with the mental homes where they used to put people. That's what TikTok is.
The old-fashioned asylums.
Yeah, it's like an old-fashioned asylum. That's basically TikTok.
Before TV would do as a family was go to the
so is this like the fucking documentary about this guy's 2-minute drone footage? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot
the
of
footage itself, which was
he's got a
video.
Yeah. The show us the monkey.
In the northeastern Vermont, shows a recording from a drone flying low over the trees in the snowing forest. Around 2:20 on the video, a humanoid figure covered in brown hair suddenly comes into view. Over the next few seconds, the drone operator can be heard expressing surprise at the discovery while the drone moves to follow the creature as it walks onward through the snowy trees. Since gaining attention on social media, the footage has been met with an understandable degree of skepticism, with many users maintaining that it's simply a prank involving someone wearing a suit. Yes, with these videos, including the famous
funny they know exactly
video.
Where to go to find a Bigfoot, isn't it?
The thing is, though, we've got to remember, it's either someone wearing a suit, or, if it's not, it's the best thing ever. So that's... Sure enough, the movement of the alleged Bigfoot is distinctly human-like. You can check out the clip yourself below. What do you think? Okay, play the clip. Let's have a look.
What's he supposed to walk like? John Cleese from the Ministry of Silly Walks.
Yeah. Or Groucho Marx in a crouched down.
Oh, there
style.
it is. Yeah,
let's show that. Let's have a look at this now.
Taking a stroll.
I'm gonna look there.
Oh shit. No, he's going to the left, dude. Why did you let him?
Arm swinging.
Yeah, because drones are notoriously difficult to maneuver, aren't they?
Yeah. Why are you letting it get away? Come on, fucking Christ! There we go. He's found it. That's it. He's like, wasn't this only? This is really close to him then, surely, right?
Yeah.
It can't be far above, and you think the creature would look overhead.
I know. How about, why don't you, go to the ground and, I don't know.
Well, they can't really because they
Bump into
have
it.
picked a good spot where there's a lot of stuff for the drone to get snagged on.
Right,
Haven't they?
yeah, but fuck that, man. Like you got first like up close evidence of fucking Bigfoot, right?
Mm.
Yep, you're going to
Fuck
make
you,
$1 million, basically,
Yeah.
aren't you, with this? So,
Yeah.
but,
Oh well,
how many
there's
hits?
there's no
how
need
many
to go
hits?
following it, is there?
Oh, yeah, there is. if you've seen Bigfoot on your drone,
yeah, but
go
this
after it.
this tree right here, we really need a good shot of this tree here.
Is he found it again, or is it fucked off? Well, yeah. That's it. Just like dive bomb the fucker with your drone, and then get to the
smash
consequence
into
later.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Knock it out.
Bastard.
Yeah, just knock it out, and then you've got live Bigfoot, right? You know.
Exactly, and you're going to make millions.
Exactly.
And it's what it's about. That's why I'm in it. You know, I hate going to work. Work fucks me off. Whereas if I can find a proper Bigfoot, I'm going to make $1 million, and I don't have to go to work any day. Just stay at home all day and just do nothing. So that's the goal.
Oh no, we've lost it. Oh no, how could we possibly have lost it?
Yeah, you know, we do have the British Bigfoot, and I think if you still get your copy, I actually found my copy of Fortean Times yesterday.
Yeah, I've still got mine.
British, but if we could. That's our program's sussed for that week, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, there's a British Bigfoot. I'm not a big fan because there's not a lot of room, is there?
Well, Bjarki sent me that one of that. That's that. Right. Bjarki sent me that one of that podcast, the one where the bloke was in Manchester.
Mm.
And he
came across Bigfoot.
He saw a Bigfoot out his window.
In Manchester, in Canal Street. Yeah. You sure it wasn't a transvestite you saw?
Could have been. Well, I can only say it as I sees it.
It'd be good if Bjarki would come back on and tell us of a more Australian Bigfoot. It'd be good if he could one day.
My friend got decapitated when we surfed tower block lifts. I cried. Jesus Christ, mate.
Yeah, that happens. The lift gets stuck, and you put your head out of the gap to look out what's going on, and all of a sudden the lift kicks in, cuts your head off. That happens.
Oof.
Right, so it's 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, time for bed, everyone.
Go on then, Hobbit. What are you going to... Final thoughts from Hobbit?
Don't say fuck or bugger.
Yeah.
Don't shit your pants.
Night all, stay spooky.